Now she moved to Sault Ste. Marie. Woo, but she'll come back for a comedy show sometime. Give it up for Leslie Lynn, everybody!
Thank you, Ryan! Keep going for your host. And that Michael, oh my God, good set, hard act to follow. And such a gorgeous crowd. Full house, that's Nick, right? He packs them in, apparently. Good-looking people, smart-looking crowd. God, now I'm wishing I'd written better jokes for you. I love it here from Sudbury. You're probably used to disappointment. It's been a while since I've been at Little Montreal. Oh my God, at least the whole summer. The last time I was here, they still had the carpet. Remember the carpet in this place? Oh my God. I used to have a joke. I'd say, if that carpet could talk, it would say, "Hey buddy, can you give me 2 aspirin and a ride to the Hep C clinic?" It's seen some shit. I used to always make fun of the sign that says, "Home of the smoked meat," that used to be right over the men's washroom. I made fun of that so often, they moved it. And back in the day when I first started doing stand-up comedy here at good old Little Montreal, I used to order a slice of beer, a slice of bologna to use for a coaster for my beer. You know, back when Little Montreal was the bar that was also a deli. They can't afford bologna anymore, as we know. Groceries. It's crazy. But yeah, you know, it got me thinking, the fact that groceries are so expensive. I used to think all the rich kids in my class, they were anyone who had 2 of anything. So 2 snow machines in the garage, or 2 cars, or 2 dads. Nowadays, it's just kids who can afford 2 heads of lettuce in the family. Which reminds me, I was in a grocery store recently, and I heard on the overhead speaker the soundtrack, the Titanic song. Gave me a sudden urge to go buy iceberg lettuce. Anything to make it stop, right? And I mean, at that, cheers, Celine! You're looking rough. Full disclosure, this is a non-alcoholic Corona. I've been off booze for a little while. It's still brewed in Mexico, but it's completely harmless, ladies and gentlemen. This is one Mexican that even Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about. He can care less. And like I said, a couple of summers in a row now that I haven't been drinking. Still having lots of fun though at family functions, all kinds of activities. I was at a family reunion recently and I was still the loudest, most annoying, and earliest to skinny dipping, so I realized that I think I'm the reason my family still drinks. And the other thing I noticed this summer, my health card picture doesn't look anything like sober Leslie, so I'm like, oh, I might have to get an updated photo. No sunburn, no bleary hungover eyes, and I don't look like I need a rape kit. I was going to say I don't look like I need a pregnancy test, but I knew you folks wouldn't fall for that. Way too old for a pregnancy test. Oh yeah, everybody knows I'm an old broad. These young guys that I do stand-up comedy with, they're always talking in the back, like, why is she always hanging around with us? Why is she coming to our shows all the time? Ooh, open mics. Maybe she's a bit of a cougar. Maybe she wants to fuck us. But I hate to break the news to them and just tell them, fellas, sorry, I don't identify as a cougar. I think of myself more as a Sudbury tiger, so. That's the reality on that. But I'm usually the only chick on the lineup, so tonight is no exception. Just checking in with you folks. How do you like your female comedians, yeah? I hate fishing unless it's for compliments, so. In fact, compliments, you know, I suggested with the boys, they're always talking about maybe do a roast battle. Have you heard of this? You just trade insults back and forth for stand-up comedy. Ugh. I suggested we do a compliments battle instead, where we would just trade compliments back and forth all night, or as I would also call it, foreplay. No takers on that one yet, though, so we'll see if the boys will be into it at some point. But yeah, as the only gal on the lineup, I usually just announce myself as your eye candy for the folks, so here it is. Yeah, it's a bit like that Halloween candy you find around Easter time, though. A bit old and back of the closet, dry, crusty. Still sweet, though, so should be good. I had a fella up front one time ask me, "Gee, Leslie, how old is this Halloween candy?" I told him, "Well, sir, I turned 35 my last birthday, the day before I was diagnosed with dyslexia." So, but yeah, it's a fun hobby. I figured I would dress up fancy for you. This is actually what I used to wear when I used to host children's birthday parties. So this is my clown costume, and that was a good time. I pretty much just spent Saturday afternoons making suggestive balloon animals and single dads uncomfortable. I can imagine it was a lot of this. Sometimes two. Kids loved it though. You look a little uncomfortable, but the kids loved it, I'm telling you. Great time. Oh, so did everybody have a good summer? Yeah. It's over. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside, but one of these nights, your furnace is going to kick on. You'll be like, what's that smell? Well, think of me. Summer is over. This time of year with fruit flies, some people hate that. I don't mind fruit flies. I find when I'm alone in my apartment, it's a little dull. When there's fruit flies around, you know, it's a little busier. It's like I have friends over here. It's fun. We share a plate of hummus in the evening. In the morning, nobody judges me too harshly if I murder all my roommates in one fell swoop. Just kill them all. Oh, but yeah, summer was good for me as well. Anybody watch the Olympics? Summer Olympics happening? Wasn't really into it. I find these days the only sports I want to watch are F1, Formula 1, and NASCAR. Because all I want to see is a man who still knows how to change a fucking tire. Yeah. These ladies know it. By round of applause, who in this room, including the ladies, knows how to change a flat tire? Yeah. Oh, other ladies, that's hot. That's really sexy. I love it. Other fun things this summer. Oh, I was able to, in Sault Ste. Marie, you know, they have Poutine Fest. Have you heard of this? It happens every two, but in Sault Ste. Marie, it was the 3rd annual, so I told my dad, "Hey Dad, why don't you come to Sault Ste. Marie for the 3rd annual Poutine Fest?" He's like, "A Poutine Fest? What the hell kind of communists you got up there in Sault Ste. Marie?" I was like, "No, Dad, poutine, like all you can eat?" He says, "Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? An all you can eat Poutine Fest, I'll go to that." Oh God, no. Never mind that, really. Get that hearing aid checked. The other thing this summer, embarrassed myself a little bit. I was going out for ice cream. Couldn't remember my favorite brand of ice cream. I knew it had an animal name, you know. It wasn't Bear Claw. It was just the girl getting ready to scoop. She was annoyed, I could tell. So I just blurted out, "Just give me 2 scoops of moose knuckle." She just shook her head. Didn't even crack a smile. So I made a point of going in the next week and I told her, "It's got that animal name. Give me 2 scoops of camel toe." Again, didn't even crack a smile, but she got me. She's bending over, ready to scoop. She says, "You sure you want more?" I said, "No." Camel toe. Ice cream there. Coming soon. I'll have a strawberry ripple. I was worried about you folks when I was hanging out in Sault Ste. Marie. I heard a weather report for Sudbury, like it was going to be thunderstorm, lightning, chance of hail. It was going to be big hail. It was going to be nickel-sized hail. And I was like, oh my God, big nickel-sized hail. Somebody's going to die. I was worried about you guys. But you were fine. The other thing I was going to check in, other adventures that I had this summer, I actually was able to do stand-up comedy at a bachelor party. That was fun. These guys had me jump out of a cake before they let me tell jokes, so it didn't seem fair. I did it though, but I refused to jerk off the wedding party. I drew the line there. I mean, there was 12 of them. I didn't want to risk carpal tunnel. And another sweet milestone this summer, I was able to perform for the troops, so that was pretty neat. That was just a bunch of but I must say, these preteen gals like a dick joke just as much as the next one. So. And I learned a thing or two from these girls. Woo, hang around with preteens. Yeah, I'll tell you later, for sure. The other fun thing this summer, well, like I said, it's coming to an end, so we'll just move on. I know that it's beginning to be autumn because Mennonite porn is back in season. Anyone familiar with the Mennonite porn? Well, my mother wasn't either. When I went to her place, and I said, Ma, did you see that sign on the side of the road that says Mennonite porn for sale? She just looked at me. She says, it's corn, you idiot. What's wrong with you? And I was like, oh, yeah. Well, that makes more sense. I could have read it, though, if it would have been in a proper font. Times New Roman instead of Times Old Byron. Written with some big old fat paintbrush by someone who was definitely homeschooled and possibly interbred, so. That's fine. She lives in Massey. She knows what Mennonites are. No, it got me thinking, though, what Mennonite porn might look like if they had it. I figured it'd be just the same as regular porn, also in HD, except in the Mennonite community, HD stands for hand-drawn. I googled it. I don't recommend googling it. There isn't any Mennonite porn, but young Mennonite girls are uploading risque selfies, showing a bit of wrist. They're uploading them to the internet to a thing called OnlyFans. So they're having a good time. Anybody out on a date tonight? Got a date night happening? Oh, yeah! Love it. I have many stories from my dating days, my embarrassing stories when I was doing heavy dating in Sudbury. I was dating so much I called myself polyamorous for a while. I figured it sounded a little more fancy than just plain old slutty. And my sisters have young children. I was trying to make sure my little nephew, who just says every thought, didn't pipe up one day and say, Mommy, is Auntie Leslie a bit of a floozy? We could just tell him, no, honey, we're calling that polyamorous now. Pipe down. This was the kid that I really got into it with him over COVID. He loved his COVID mask. He's like, I'm a ninja. I love it. I love my mask. And I was telling him, I hate my mask, kid. I think it stinks. He says, oh, my mask doesn't stink. It always smells like hot chocolate and grape crush. I love it. I said, well, bully for you, kid. My mask always just smells like weed and cum. Yeah, my sister heard that across the room. She says, God damn it, Leslie, you and your potty mouth. I said, what? I just told him my mask always smelled like cheese and gum. What did you hear? Somebody's got a dirty mind. But yeah, my dating years, this one fellow called me opportunistic when we were in the middle of a date, and I thought, wow, this guy actually knows the meaning of the word opportunistic. He's cool. But no, I wasn't looking for a meal ticket back then. I was mostly just looking for my next meal. I wasn't a gold digger back then. I was more of a clam digger. I was kind of just hungry. You know, when folks are down and they're locked in, they might carry a sign that says, we'll work for food. Well, I didn't want to be super misleading and complete the word work. No, my sign would have said something more like, we'll suck for chicken wings. I got me some chicken wings from time to time. I always was checking in the crowd when I was doing a lot of dating and stuff. If there was a cop in the crowd. Is there a cop in the crowd tonight by any chance? I still like to check, because I had an online dating profile back then. I was pretending I was into rough sex, all because I wanted to try and date a cop. The whole plan was it was just so I could get him back to his place, handcuff him to his headboard, and beat the shit out of him. Just you know why. And of course, before you say not all cops, I was planning on getting a real douchebag, so it was going to work out perfectly for me, so that would be fine. I've got a sweet fella now, though I'm not dating so much. He's the kind of guy that, very thoughtful. We actually dated in high school, too, but I stopped mentioning that because someone overheard and said, God, you're dating someone in high school. She really is a Siberian tiger. I don't want my old name to come back, Lester the Molester? No. So, trying to figure out what to call him. A friend of mine calls her boyfriend her significant other, and she shortens it to SO. I tried that one time, and I just pointed to him and I said, he's with me, he's SOL. Yeah, but he's a sweet guy, like I said. If you're out at dinner and the table's wobbly, he'll just put his foot on it the entire meal. I think what I'm saying is my boyfriend's dead weight. I don't miss those dating years though, but the other thing that got me kind of out of having time for dating was I became a grandmother recently, folks, so a couple of grandkids. I've been promoted, I'm now a GILF. It stands for Grandma I'd Like to Fondle. Apparently if I'm being a proper nan, I shouldn't have time for fucking anymore. Need to check the handbook on that one though. Yeah, I do wonder sometimes if I'm being a proper nana. My daughter asked me recently, oh my god, the baby's constipated. What did you do when we were kids? I just told her, I don't know, I don't remember. Give him a Happy Meal and 2 Corona. It always cleans me right out. Oh, so that's great. Some folks can't believe I'm already a grandmother. I get weird questions like, gee, you look so young. Did you have your kids when you were 12? And I told them, no, when I was a sexually active 12-year-old, I was smart enough to use birth control. And even a preteen can take it up the butt once in a while, right, Sudbury? I mean, that's what the Girl Guides told me. I told you they filled me in. Okay, that's my time. My name's Leslie Lynn.
Give it up for Leslie Lynn, everybody! And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The moment everyone paid the big bucks to see. If you like it, scan the poster on the side of the ATM after the show. Everyone, big round of applause.